What's up guys, Ian from Udio here. So today we've got a good one. We just launched a feature called Sessions. It's a timeline-based editor similar to a DAW. It'll make your workflow much smoother, more centralized, and should feel familiar to all you music producers out there. So let's dig in. All right, so first things first, how do you access Sessions? There's 4 different ways. Number 1, we've got a banner on the homepage. You can click Start Session. It'll pull up your most recent session. Create Page on the button. Give it a little drop down here, Session, Context Menu, Create Start Session, and then on the song page itself, we've got a Start Session. All right, so here we are in the main interface. You'll notice our waveform front and center. I can just click spacebar to play. And you'll notice I was clicking around the timeline pretty fluidly. We've got some hotkeys under the hood, so if you want to return to the beginning, hold Shift and press Return. Up top, we've got our transport, our volume, and then we can zoom in and out with plus minus on the keyboard or hold Command and Control and scroll with your mouse wheel pretty fluidly. Song sections up top, those are auto-recognized based on the lyrics tag. I can turn those on and off up here, and then our lyrics panel up top right. You'll see the section dividers. Those were brought in, recognized by the bracket around the actual section, so it identifies where it is in the song. Down below, we've got our different modes: takes, extend, and replace. This is a 32-second clip, so I want to keep building on this song. I can click the right arrow here, and then you'll notice we've got our prompt you should be pretty familiar with. Suggested tags, we can upload a style reference or have our lyric settings that you should be familiar with. I can auto generate the next section. I can click custom and type whatever I want to. And then also set it to instrumental. For now, we're going to go with auto generate. And now we've got to decide where our extension will occur. So we could do an intro, we could do an outro, or just add another section. So let's just click extend and see what we get. All right, up top, you'll see these pills here. It says take 1. So these are the different versions that we get each time we create a song. Click on the play button here and you can listen. Let's check out take 2. Now, one thing that's pretty cool is you can swap between the two in real time. So if I kick it off leading in, right? Notice that change. Now I might say to myself, I want to re-roll this and get a couple of more takes out of it. So I can click here on the waveform itself or click takes. And you'll see this is highlighted. This is my takes area. I can again change my prompt. I can decide if I want to put in some lyrics. So let's just generate some more takes. And I can do as many as I want. All right, so we've got 6 different takes to choose from. And again, I can simply go through each one of them as I want to preview. Dancing through the clouds, your hand in mine. Sweet bliss. In this moment, we're here to stay. Now, I might say to myself, I like take 5. So I'm going to push that to the front of the list. But take 2 is pretty good. I want to use that and remember that because I might want to create a new song off of that take later. So if I like it, anything I like will show up later in my library so I can still get to it. And the same works for dislikes. It'll archive the track. I can undo if I want to get back to where I was. One thing I want to call out before we move on, you do have access to all of your advanced controls. So if we turn advanced mode on, you'll see style reduction, prompt strength, lyric strength, seed, model, etc. So you can get a little bit more control. Another thing I want to call out is that you always have the chance to undo and redo your work. And the great thing is if you go up here and click on the song title, you'll see all of your undo history. And I might say to myself, I'm ready to continue this song, but I'm not sure if I want to go in one direction or another. Meaning I had a bunch of takes, I have take 2 here. So if I save a new version, now my undo history is cleared out and I've created a new checkpoint. If I go back to the original, I'm restoring from that place. So if we go to version 2 and we change this to take 1, you'll notice in the first version, we're back on take 2. So it's great if you want to keep extending. You've now created a nice checkpoint to allow you to create forks in your workflow. The next thing I want to show you is this replace mode. Before we do that, let's put an intro on the song. All right, let's see what we got. We'll zoom in here.
Dancing shadows on the sidewalk glow. Every moment buzzing with the highs and the lows. Turn up the vibe, let the music play. With each note we're lost, but we're finding our way.
All right, not bad, but I don't love the lyrics. So I might say to myself, I want to replace this one line here. So the first thing you'll do is select on the waveform, click replace, and that puts you into replace mode. Again, you have all of your familiar prompting functionality. And you'll notice on the right here, you've got this white text and then this red text. The white text is your context window. So essentially this region as I move it around, and you can only do it in 32-second chunks. So you'll notice here it's all dark. That means you can't edit that piece until you move this piece around. Now I can resize this by pulling on the handlebars on the left side and then on the right side, and you'll notice as I do that, this red line of lyrics actually changes. So that's in sync to make sure you're going to replace the correct line. So let's go with this turn up the vibe, let the music play. Let's find that there. Looks like it's about right there. Okay, so now that we've honed in on our area, I can click here on the right and just write some new lyrics. So I like it here. I'm here to stay. We can generate. Now, when you're doing lyrics, one thing to remember is that you need to keep the same number of syllables if you want the best results, and try to keep a similar amount of words. So if I were to add, a huge line of 20 different words, it's not going to be able to give you a really clean replacement. All right, let's take a listen. Pretty good. So if we go back to the original.
Turn up the vibe, let the music play.
Right, so we did a nice replace there. Pretty simple. Remember, select the region, go into replace mode, try and hone in on what you're trying to do, and then make a replacement. If you don't change the lyrics, you'll get a nice instrumental as well. So from there, if we're set to go, we can just download, or if we head back to our library, you'll notice you've got this sessions folder, and every time you create a new session, we'll make a folder for you and keep all of your takes within that folder so you can keep things organized. So that covers the basics. Stay tuned for some new features coming up, including the ability to upload directly into the session, access to your library to be able to use them as styles, and then multi-region replace. As always, be good, keep creating. We'll see you next time.